Okay, hi everybody, it's me again. This is going to be a, what the hell am I watching this spring? Okay, so, the spring lineup has been slowly but steadily has begun. Now, I've watched a few of them. So far, I've seen Attack on Titan Season 2, My Hero Academia, Gran Blue Fantasy. That looks interesting. I'm gonna give that a shot. Gran Blue Fantasy. I just watched the first episode of this title. This title had me in stitches. Akashic Records of Bastard Magical Instructor. That's what it said on Crunchyroll. That's funny. I also started watching... What else did I watch? Like first episode? Oh, Alice to Zouroku. That's interesting. That interested me a lot. I'm going to continue watching that as well. Tsugumomo. That's not on any of the... only watch it on Kiss Anime. And I watched the first episode of Royal Tutor. It's kind of weird. But yeah, but aside from the ones I've seen, these are the ones that I'm going to continuously watch. Attack on Titan Season 2. My Hero Academia Season 2. Bahamut. Shingeki no Bahamut. Virgin Soul. I'm going to watch that. Dungeon Gaiden. It's the... I don't know if this is like a spin-off or if it's a sequel, but it's like it focuses on Wallenstein from the Is It Okay If I Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, that series. I remember watching it. You know, Belle and everything. But they're focusing on Wallenstein, the swordswoman, in this series. So I'm going to watch that. Also going to watch... on the list is Clockwork Planet. Give it a shot, see what that's about. Gran Blue Fantasy, which you guys already know, and Records of Bastard Magical Instructor. Eromanga Sensei, I don't know about it though. It seems something that I might drop, but I'm going to give it a shot. NANATSU no TAIZAI, it's not NANATSU no TAIZAI, it's different. Renai boukun. That one is a manga that I was reading. So I'm definitely going to try to check that out as well. Busou shoujo. I can't say this name correctly. But anyway, that one, which is about a guy, this kid, he goes to this school where all the boys are treated like underlings for basically a school filled with swordswomen. I remember reading the manga for it, so I'm going to check that out. Then there's Shuumatsu Nani shiteMasu ka. That's... I saw a trailer of it on Facebook. The music was really hyped and really good. So I'm going to check that one out. Recreators. That one looks very interesting. Alice to Zouroku Ko. I just told you guys about. Tsugumomo, I saw the first episode. It's pretty damn funny. It has its moments. It's pretty damn funny. Adam the Beginning, which is basically the prequel to Astro Boy. I want to check that out. And of course, Royal Tutor. Royal Tutor is weird though. It seems like it's a shoujo. Basically, it has to do with these princes, four of them, who you know, their father is trying to get a tutor to tutor them so that when he does give them, or one of them, I should say, the title to rule, they can do it without causing any strife or what have you. So those are the ones. Now, I'm just going to briefly, in this video, I just want to briefly go over to you guys, like specifically what most of these are about. Now, we already know what Attack on Titan Season 2. I don't have to explain that. But Virgin Soul Bahamut, from what I'm reading here, it's 10 years after the revival of Bahamut. Power due to... Yeah, basically, the gods lose their power. Demons are enslaved to assist the capital's revival. Well, kind of those things. So it should be interesting. Now, here's the thing about Ainz Wallenstein, the dungeon anime. I don't know what this is. I think it's in the perspective of Wallenstein, the Sword Princess. I think that's what it is. Because I didn't watch Picking Up Girls in a Dungeon, that anime, when it first came out. Later on, I watched it on Hulu and stuff, and but it seems like it's basically, it says, once again, the strongest female swordsman heads a giant labyrinth known as a dungeon, along with their allies, on the 50th floor, where mysteries and threats such as a decayed dragon's corpse that crumbles to ash and an irregularity that creeps ever closer to the party looms. Eyes calls for the wind and heads deeper into the darkness. And it basically states as she meets a boy, and that's Belle. So I guess this is from the perspective of her. Her perspective. So we might get to see what she fought and all that other stuff. Should be interesting. So that's the story with that. Clockwork Planet, from what I'm understanding, it has to do with this city. Because it says, Nayato's high school dropout and brilliant amateur tinkerer. He lives in a world that has been so overexploited that the entire surface has become one vast machine. When a box crashes into his home containing a female automaton. Yeah, it's that kind of anime. That's that. Grand Blue, from my understanding, has to do with a video game. But so far from what I've seen, it's very intriguing. I'm going to give it a watch. Now, as far as this show is concerned, this bastard magical instructor. The whole bit is this guy, Gran. From episode 1, from what I can gather, this isn't like... I'm not saying... He's definitely not like Tatsuya from a regular magical high school. That is definitely not the case. This guy is complete slacker. He's a complete slacker. He doesn't want to bother with things. He doesn't give a shit about teaching his students. So it's one of those things. But I think there's some more to the story than meets the eye. Because it says that he goes and he protects their students. Dedication to protecting his students. When there's some incident that occurs. So it's pretty funny. It's a magical anime. I'm going to give it a watch. Now, the one Eromanga sensei, it's pretty, it's a sibling romantic comedy, revolves around Masamune Izumi, a light novel author in high school. Masamune's little sister is Sagiri, a shut-in girl who hasn't left her room an entire year. So this is like one of those kind of shows. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to watch it. But I don't know if I'm going to keep watching it. So, and NANATSU no TAIZAI, this is basically having to do with actual demons and shit. Not the NANATSU no TAIZAI, the actual NANATSU no TAIZAI manga. It doesn't have to do with that. But this is like real, basically, prideful archangel Lucifer disobeys God and is cast into the lower level of hell as a fallen angel. On her way to hell, Lucifer happens to meet a high school girl on Earth named Maria who helps her. In hell, Lucifer meets Leviathan, and Leviathan explains to Lucifer about the 7 deadly sins, the 7 demon king rulers of hell. Kind of interesting. And they're all female. So that's something else. Now, Renai boukun and Busou shoujo. Boukun is basically... Story begins when Guri, an angel with a mysterious item which turns any two people who kiss into a couple. appears before a high school boy named Seiji Aino. However, there is a yandere high school girl named Akane who loves her. Yo, this girl, yo, massive, just she just pulls out a knife. Like, it's crazy. Because I remember reading the manga of this. Yeah, it's manga. And this other one is a manga. Busou Shoujo, which is a battle action story, follows Fudo Nomura, who transfers to a school where girls carry weapons to rule mercilessly over the boys. Shortly after transferring, he becomes a target of Rin Onagagawa, a member of the 5 ruling swords that commands the school. In order to break free, he must defeat the 5 ruling swords. This one should be good. With all these animes, I really don't have a plan of reviewing them. Like I did for the winter, I might just do anime series reviews. I don't know, because the only one I could do really reviews on is Attack on Titan. Because I don't know when I'll stop working again or all that other jazz. But that one is those are the stories with those ones. I'm not watching Boruto. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not watching Boruto. I'm sorry. I just can't. I saw the movie. That's good enough for me. And then there's this other anime. This I saw a trailer of in one of the Facebook groups, based on a light novel. 500 is the Shuumatsu Nani Shinamatsu Ka. 500 years have passed since the humans went extinct at the hands of the fearsome and mysterious beasts. That sounds interesting. The surviving races now make their homes up on floating islands in the sky, out of reach of all but the most mobile of beasts. Only a small group of young girls, the leprechauns, can wield the ancient weapons needed to fend off invasions from these creatures into the girls' unstable and fleeting lives, where a call to certain death could come at any moment. Enters an unlikely character, a young man who lost everything in his final battle 500 years ago. So this has to do with 500 years ago. The last living human awakened from a long icy slumber. Unable to fight any longer, Willem becomes the father that the girls never had, caring for and nurturing them even as he struggles to come to terms with his new life, in which he feels the pain of helplessly waiting for his loved ones to return home from battle that his daughter once felt for him so long ago. Together, Wilhelm and the girls gradually come to understand what family means and what it is truly worth protecting. That's interesting. And I heard the soundtrack. That soundtrack sounds amazing. So kudos to Satellite. The other one is Recreators. Wait for it. Alice to Zouroku. Tsugumomo. Adam the Beginning, which I already explained, is the Yeah, it's the whole bit about before Astro Boy. Adam, the Beginning. And the only other one on this list is Royal Tutor, and I'm not... it looks good. I don't know if I'll get rid of it. But let me if I'll drop it. Let me talk about Recreators first, before I get into the other ones. I figured I'd give you guys a synopsis of all the shows. Yeah, it's basically, Recreators is humans have created many stories. Joy, sadness, anger, deep emotion. Stories shake our emotions and fascinate us. However, these are only the thoughts of bystanders. But what if the characters in the stories have intentions to them? Are we godlike existence bringing their story into the world? Our world is changed, met out, punishment upon the realm of the gods. This is one of those kinds of shows. It interests me to an extent, and I'll take a look at it, more or less. You know. Then, of course, we have... Oh, by the way, I'm not watching Berserk. I'm putting my foot down on this. Because the fact of the matter is, you could buy the Berserk game for the PS4 and say, oh yeah, look, and you're better well off. At least in my opinion. Alice to Zouroku, basically, I saw the first episode, I was like, whoa. It's not Alice in Wonderland, it's more like you have these, I have this girl who's a power named Alice's Dream, which allows them to make their imaginations come true. So, like, they can imagine, like, a chain or what have you. Like, this girl, you know, her name's not Alice, though. Her name's, like, I think it was Sena or something like that. And she can, like, teleport and shit, and there are these twins who can... They basically can create anything in their imagination. Anything. It's pretty crazy. Gonna definitely... And she basically meets this old man named Zouroku, who is a florist. It was interesting. It was an interesting first episode. Tsugumomo is basically about this kid, Kazuya, who has this memento of his late mother, which is basically cloth. It's what you make out of a yukata, you know. And basically, it's been possessed. Yeah, so it basically becomes this kimono clad. That's what it is. Kimono clad girl who calls herself an artificial artifact spirit. Now she transforms and everything, and it seems like she's gonna protect him, that sort of thing. So that's pretty much what I'm going to watch for the spring. Like I said, Royal Tutor is good. It's just, I don't think it's something I could watch. Because it reminds me of Negima for girls. That's the way I look at it. It's funny. It's funny. It's funny. I could probably, you know, get into it to an extent. But, I don't know. It might be one that I drop. That and Eromanga Sensei. But so far, the only ones I've watched so far have been Attack on Titan Season 2, My Hero Academia Season 2, Grand Blue Fantasy, Bastard Magical Instructor, what else? Alice, and Tsugumomo, and Royal Tutor. So that's about 7. I said 7 animes of the spring. And the only thing that's not on this list, but I'm going to casually watch it, is Thunderbolt. Mobile Gundam Thunderbolt. They came out with one episode, it was about a couple of weeks ago. And the next episode is probably going to come out at the end of the month. So, you know, we'll go over that. But other than that, that's pretty much all I'm going to watch. I don't know what reviews will be, though. I mean, I'm liking the Bastard Magical Instructor. And Alice and everything, but I don't know. Because you want to do the reviews and everything, but you don't know, you know, like, if you have the time or not. But tell me what you guys think in the comment section below about the shows I just mentioned. I will, when I get a chance, put these names in the description when I get a chance. Hopefully today, maybe tomorrow, I don't know. But when I get a chance, I'll do that. Until then, I'm bahamut. Oh, almost forgot. I finished Tanya. Saga of Evil Tanya. Which I'm pretty sure, I can't say the Japanese. But yeah, I finished that. I'm going to try to finish Re:Zero. Yeah. That's going to be a separate video though. So basically, I'm gonna do one live stream. It's rather gonna be tomorrow night or Thursday night. And basically, what it's gonna be, I'm gonna talk about Dragon Maid, do a review on Dragon Maid, do a review on Gabrielle, and I'm going to do a review Evil Tanya. It's those 3 animes, and then you got ReZero. Do a separate video. So that's the story. We'll see how this goes. You know, so far, you know, this has been, you know, been an interesting spring so far. Been interesting. I like what I see. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.